So you're thinking of moving to Provo, Utah, then welcome to Living in Provo, Utah. I'm Scott Walters, Best USA Realty. On this channel, I talk about everything what it's like to live in and around the Provo, Utah area. And in this particular video, I'm talking about the cost of living in Pleasant Grove, Utah, which is a city that's about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes or so north of the Provo area. So with this video, we'll be talking about what it's going to cost you to buy a house, to rent a house, go grocery shopping, transportation, all those things are going to be part of what we talk about in this video. Again, I'm Scott Walters, Best USA Realty. Thanks for watching this video. I'd love for you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you click on that notification bell so that you get notified every time that I drop another video about living in the Provo, Utah area. Again, I'm covering everything from all the cities to the north, Eagle Mountain, Saratoga Springs, Lehigh to the north, Provo, Orem, Linden in the middle, Springville, Spanish Fork, Salem to the south, all the cities in between. We'll be talking about what it's like to live in these beautiful cities. Again, today I'll be talking about what it's going to cost you to live in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Can you afford to live in Pleasant Grove? So with that, let's talk about the cost of living in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Hey, so if you listen to the end of this video on the cost of living, I want to just throw in a little caution on an extra fee, maybe a hidden fee that you wouldn't think about when it comes to living in this area. So make sure you watch to the end, and I'll throw in that hidden fee that you need to watch out for. So first up on the list is housing. Can you afford to live in Pleasant Grove? What's the cost of housing? What's it going to cost you to buy a house? What's it going to cost you to rent a house in the Pleasant Grove area? Looking at the most recent statistics, there are 66 active listings in Pleasant Grove currently. And of those, 2 of those homes are in the 1.7 million range, and those are 6,000 plus square footage on those. But most everything else is quite a bit below that. So there's another range of homes in Pleasant Grove that are in the 700 to 850,000 range. Those are going to be homes that range in the square footage between 3,700 square feet and 4,800 square feet. And again, those homes are going to cost you somewhere between $700,000 and $850,000. All depends upon how new is the home, what year it was built, what are the amenities in the home. Does it have the old Formica countertops and the oak cabinets, or does it have a quartz countertops and stainless steel appliances? That can make the difference in what your price range is going to be there. The next group, and again, just also keep in mind taxes on that are going to be somewhere in the they're going to be in the $3,000, $3,500 a year range. That's about what those property taxes will be. So the next range was the $600,000 to $700,000 price range. That's generally going to get by you home between the 3,100 and 3,600 square foot range. Taxes about $2,500 a year for those. And those are going to be all types of homes. Those are going to be ramblers, 2 stories, tri-levels, running in all the different ages of homes from older to much newer. That's why your price range differs a little bit in that square footage range, because some are newer, some are older, some are more updated, some are more dated. The next range is the 500 to 600,000 price range. Those are homes between that 2,100 square feet and 2,400 square feet roughly. And you're going to be paying somewhere around the $2,000 for your property taxes. And again, those are going to be the same types of homes I've talked about for Rambler style homes, the ranch style, just one level living. A lot of those homes will also have a basement. You have little bungalows. You're also going to have tri-level style homes and some 2 stories. So that's what you're looking at for that range. Now the next price range on homes, this is where I was talking in another video about the affordability. And the nice affordability for Pleasant Grove is the fact that it's got several townhomes and condos that are available, and even that lower price range. So with the townhomes, currently you've got 7 townhomes available. The square footage range on those is anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500, and their price range is anywhere from $372,000 to $440,000. Again, it just depends upon the amenities. Is it a townhome that has a 2-car garage to it, or is it a townhome with just a carport? When was it built? What are its amenities? Taxes going to be somewhere in that $1,360 a year range for the townhomes. There's also like 11 condos available in Pleasant Grove. A lot of those are located very centrally, right off the main Pleasant Grove exit. Those condos are right around 1,200 square feet, and that's also about the tax range on those, about $1,200 per year. Price range for the condos right now running right around $338,000 all the way up to $368,000. So can you afford to live in Pleasant Grove? What do you think? Give me a comment in the comments below on whether you think those prices are affordable or not. Now, when it comes to renting, rental prices have gone up in Utah just like they've gone up everywhere else in the country. I'm seeing when I look on rentler.com, which is where I look for a lot of rental properties, I'm seeing that most homes that are in that 3,000 to 4,000 square foot range generally have 5 to 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. Those homes in the Pleasant Grove area are going to rent anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500 a month. The townhomes and condos are going to be closer to $2,000 a month. And if you're renting a single room, then you're probably anywhere from $300 to $600, just depending on if that single room has its own bathroom, or if you're just sharing bathrooms with other tenants in the home. So that should give you an idea of the cost of living as far as as it comes to housing costs, housing prices, and rental costs in the Pleasant Grove area. Again, if you think it's affordable or not, make a comment in the comment section below. So next up on my list are the utility costs. What's it going to cost you to run your air conditioner and your heater and the things of that nature? I'll make sure to add a link to Pleasant Grove's utility page, because this is really quite a subjective topic, because it really depends upon how much you use certain items. Most of the cities have like a tier rate system in that they charge you a certain amount of fee for just basic coverage, and then that basic coverage usually goes up to a certain amount of usage. Once you go over that, then that next tier is priced at a different amount, and I'm talking about the usage of water, the usage of power. Generally, things like garbage and sewer are just a flat fee that you pay every single month. Same with a lot of the cities when it comes to secondary water, like the pressurized irrigation used for watering lawns, although most cities are turning that to a metered system, and so they'll start charging again based more upon your usage rather than just a flat fee there. Generally, what I say is, for the townhomes and condos in Pleasant Grove, I'd budget somewhere from $150 to $250 a month for your utility bill, and that should cover it. But again, that just depends upon if you use more power or water, then your bill may be a little higher. If you're a little bit bigger home, 3,000, 4,000 square feet, then you better budget $200 to $350 a month. If you're the bigger homes, the 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 square foot homes, then be prepared to pay $500, $600, $700 a month for your utility costs. Again, somewhat dependent upon your usage in those areas, but that should just kind of give you a basic idea of utility costs for Pleasant Grove. Transportation costs next up on my list. So again, another subjective item, because it really depends upon what you're driving, what you use. The one good thing about Pleasant Grove is it's actually pretty close to a TRAX line. Just right off the next exit in Lehi is a TRAX line. So you can catch that and take that all the way up to Salt Lake or Ogden or down to Provo. I wrote down the prices to have that. To have the main pass that lets you use the TRAX and the buses. That's about $170 a month. Now, if you just need a bus system pass, that's about $85 for the month to ride UTA. They have quite a few stops in and around Pleasant Grove and the American Fork area that you can use. So yeah, there you go. I mean, of course, you can always go on their website and check the other prices, because maybe you just need a pass for a week or whatever it is. And of course, those prices are different. So I definitely recommend you check out the UTA website for more in-depth information on the transportation costs. Now, when it comes to your own car, that's just 100% on you, on what you drive. I like to drive a Honda Insight Hybrid, which gets me around 50 miles to the gallon when I'm not driving like an idiot. If I drive very slow and carefully, then I can get around 50. If I put it in sport mode and I like to drive a little quicker, then I'm around 43 to 45 miles per gallon. Hardly ever drive my Suburban, because that thing, it cost me like over $100 just to fill that thing up. So same thing's going to hold true with you. Depends. Those costs can be totally dependent upon what you drive. If you're driving an electric vehicle, then your costs are going to be quite a bit lower. But again, if you're driving the big SUVs and trucks, then your costs will be higher. So childcare, daycare, that's the next thing up on my list. A lot of the childcare and daycare places around Pleasant Grove are charging anywhere from $150 to $170 and on up per week per child. That's kind of a generalized idea of what the cost is. If you need to put your child in daycare all day, that's Monday through Friday, usually from like 7 to 5 o'clock type of a thing. And of course, you can check with the different local daycares, and they have different pricing based upon your needs. If you only need your child there 1 or 2 days a week, then of course that pricing will be a little less. But generally, if you budget in there around 150 to 170 a month per child, that's going to cover your daycare costs for your kids. Now, if all you need is a preschool where you send them there a couple days a week to get them prepared for entering the schools, your kindergarten, then you'll be somewhere between $90 and $100 a month. That's what my wife and I paid. We paid $90 a month for 3 days a week. It went from like 9 in the morning to about noon every day, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it prepared my kids very well for kindergarten. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what it may cost for daycare and preschool in Pleasant Grove. Okay, next up on my list, groceries. What's going to cost you to feed your family? I like to tell people to budget somewhere between $100 and $150 per person, but again, it is somewhat dependent upon your family and what your tastes are and what your food habits are. Certainly, you can bring that bill down by quite a bit if you're very budget conscious in the meals that you prepare. So you can buy very inexpensive items like pasta and beans or things of that nature and keep your bill down. One of the things I like to do to keep my grocery bill down is I grow a garden every year. And so yesterday's meal I made was completely out of the garden, so that'll definitely help you on your grocery costs. And Utah's fantastic for gardens. We have a great growing season. You can grow fantastic vegetables. The growing season runs probably from early March to all the way into October sometimes if we have a late frost. Your biggest harvest is going to come in August and September. That's when a lot of your tomatoes and things like that are going to be ready, but you can be harvesting a lot of row crops earlier than that. Anyway, so that's kind of an idea for groceries. And one of the great things about Pleasant Grove is you just have several shopping stores very nearby. There's a large Macy's grocery store right in the heart of Pleasant Grove that you can shop at. And again, Pleasant Grove is right next to the main shopping district of American Fork, where they have Walmarts, Costco's, and just all kinds of other grocery stores that you can go and shop at. So there's an idea for grocery costs in Pleasant Grove. So cell phone, that is kind of the next thing up on my list as far as what comes to cost of living in Pleasant Grove, because most everybody these days has a cell line. I find that most people have dropped the landline. I actually keep one. I don't pay a whole lot a month, but it's bundled in the rest of my internet phone cable bill. Anyway, we'll talk in this specifically in here about what it's going to cost you roughly for your cell phone usage. Most people I know use the big three, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. And those, T-Mobile starts at $65 a month, $100 for each second line, or for the second line, then about $20 for each line thereafter. AT&T is $75 for the first line, $140 for second. Verizon's $80 for the first line, $140 for the second. Both of those charge about $20 for the third and fourth and whatever additional lines you have. But this is just some costs that I got off the internet, and all three of these companies are always running specials. So those costs can be more, they could be less, just depending upon the special that you're looking at. And if I switch carriers, I wait till I find some good special. I've actually been with all three carriers. I've had very good service with all of them throughout Utah Valley. I'm currently with T-Mobile, been with them about 2 years. I've been very happy. I've been able to have better service inside my home than I had with AT&T. I'd been with them for 20 plus years. I don't know why there was an issue there, but anyway, for the most part, I've had good service with all three of them everywhere. So that'll give you an idea what it's going to cost you for your cell phone bill in Pleasant Grove. So finally, we got to talk entertainment as part of your cost of living, because of course you got to go have some fun. One of the great things about Pleasant Grove is the fact that it's really close to a lot of restaurants, very, very close by to a lot of the chain restaurants I mentioned before in one of my other videos, that it's right next to the Olive Garden, Chili's, Applebee's in American Fork. I mean, we're just talking a few miles from Pleasant Grove. And you want to go south to Provo, you got a whole bunch more options. So you've got that entertainment there. You're also really close to Utah Lake. So if you like to go boating, you want to hop on the lake and go fishing, you're super close to that. If you want to go to another reservoir, you've got Deer Creek, which is up Provo Canyon. That's probably 40 minutes away from Pleasant Grove at most. And that's a fantastic place to go recreating. You're also really close to Sundance. If you want to go to a ski resort, and of course that ski resort has activities in the summer that you can enjoy too, not just the winter. They have fantastic outdoor theater season where you can go watch plays out in the mountain. My wife and I love to go watch those. you're close to American Fork Canyon, where you've got Timpanogos Cave and you got some other reservoirs up there. So you've just got access to a lot of very inexpensive and fun outdoor recreation activities. And of course, that's the great thing about Utah, is the outdoor lifestyle. You know, it's just dependent upon you getting out and doing it, and the cost it takes you to drive to that activity. So it's pretty cheap. Also, you know, Pleasant Grove has 2 great canyons that you can go hiking in. There's the Grove Creek Canyon, and then there's also the Battle Creek Canyon. Battle Creek Canyon's got a really cool waterfall that's not a very far hike up the canyon. So just a plethora of different type of activities. And if you want some of the big city life activities and entertainment, then you're just 40 minutes up to downtown Salt Lake, where you can go catch concerts at the Vivint Arena, or you could go watch the Jazz play there. You could go to West Valley, where they've also got a big arena where the hockey team plays, and they also have concerts that happen there. So, I mean, you're really, really close to a lot of great activities. Of course, you also have all the ski resorts that are just up big little Cottonwood Canyons in Salt Lake, and Pleasant Grove's pretty close to those. So there's an idea of some of the things you can do for entertainment that are also very cheap. One thing I forgot to mention, you know, Pleasant Grove's right next to American Fork. American Fork has a great golf course called Fox Hollow. And it's also close to Cedar Hills. Cedar Hills has a great golf course. It's close to Orem. Orem has a couple golf courses. So if that's something you like to do for entertainment, there's a lot of great courses really close. So I mentioned that you need to be watching out for a hidden fee that could apply to you when you're buying a home in this area. A lot of the new communities are homeowners association communities. That didn't used to be the case in Utah. Most everything was not a homeowners association, but definitely all the new condominium projects and pretty much all the new townhome projects and all the master plan communities, these all have homeowners associations with dues and fees attached to them. And there's one fee that a lot of people don't realize that they need to budget in when they're thinking about buying or selling in these communities. They generally have a transfer fee. So that every time that you sell that home, then the homeowners association fee charges a transfer fee and then they usually throw that in, I guess, into their general coffers to help with the cost of running the homeowners association. So you just need to be aware of that. I mean, I've seen these fees as low as $100, but generally, you know, 500 or 1,000 or more. Some of them are a percentage of the sales price of the home. So you just need to watch out for that and look at the basically at the what the paperwork says for those associations on how much they're going to charge, and I can help you with that. So if you're worried about that, then just reach out to me and I can help you find out whether your association is going to have a transfer fee or not. So thanks for watching this video about the cost of living in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Again, my name is Scott Walters, Best USA Realty. Been working in the real estate and real estate related industry since 1993, all here in the Utah Valley area. And so I love talking about everything about what it's like to live in Provo, Utah, and the Utah Valley area. I'm making weekly videos covering all these cities. So make sure that you like this video, click on the subscribe button, and also click on that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop another video about what it's like living in Provo, Utah, and the Utah Valley area. So with that, I'll see you on the next video.